Princess Ola was the king's only child. Her father loved her very much and showered her with gifts and lots of maids to take care of her. But Ola was not like the other girls in the village. As she grew up, she became bigger and rounder than most girls. While her father thought she was perfect, people in the village were not so nice to her. They always talked about her behind her back, called her mean names, and even said no one would want to marry the princess. Princess Ola's mother, Queen Nkem, was very beautiful and kind. She was big like Ola, but she carried herself with so much confidence and warmth that everyone loved her. Her smile made people happy, and her laughter made others want to laugh too. It wasn't just how she looked that made her special, it was her kindness, her smartness, and the way she treated everyone with respect. Before Queen Kim became a queen, she lived in a small, peaceful village near Amoza. Her father was very good at making things with his hands, and their family lived a simple but respectable life. Even though they weren't rich, Nkem behaved like a queen. She helped her father with his work and was known everywhere as a kind and hardworking young woman. When King Udochukwu met Nkem for the first time, it was during a big festival in her village. The festival happened every year to celebrate the harvest, and the king had gone to join his people. That day, Nkem was serving food at a stall, and her bright coral beads sparkled in the sunlight. And the king saw her right away and couldn't look away. King Udochukwu didn't care only about her looks like other people did. He saw something special in her. Her laughter filled the air as she talked with the villagers, and she was kind to everyone, whether old or young. That evening, during a traditional dance, Nkem joined the dance. She moved so gracefully that everyone watched in amazement. The king couldn't take his eyes off her. He was not just impressed by her beauty, but also by how confident and dignified she was. At that festival, the king sent a message to Nkem's family, asking to meet her officially. Nkem's father was surprised but proud that the king had noticed his daughter. When Nkem and the king met, they fell in love with each other almost immediately. It didn't take long for King Udochukwu to decide that Nkem would be his queen. Even though Nkem came from a simple background, she quickly adjusted to life as a queen. She became loved for her wisdom and for helping women in the kingdom. Her marriage to the king was full of respect and love, and she became his most trusted advisor. When Princess Ola was born, many people said she inherited her mother's strength and beauty, though her appearance became a point of ridicule among the people. Yet, just as her mother has shown the world that true beauty lies in character and spirit, Princess Ola would eventually carve her own path, proving that greatness is not only limited to looks. King Udochukwu loved his daughter very much, but as he got older, he became worried. He was getting too old and there was no one to take his place as the king. Ola was his only child, and the rule was that her husband would become the next king. So the king told everyone that he was looking for someone to marry his daughter. He promised big rewards, treasures, land, and even the throne. Many young men heard about the king's offer and came to see Ola. They were excited about the rewards, but when they saw her, they turned around and left. They made fun of her quietly, saying they didn't want to marry a woman who looked like that. This made Princess Ola very sad, but she tried to hide her feelings and stayed strong. Princess Ola spent her days quietly, taking care of the palace gardens and helping her father with his work. But inside, she felt very lonely. The king was sad about his daughter's situation. He asked his helpers if there was a way to make the men look past how she looked, but no one had a solution. People in the village made fun of the royal family, saying that no amount of treasure could make a man marry the fat princess. King Udochukwu wanted to find a husband for his daughter, so he decided to hold a big festival. He sent invitations to nearby kingdoms, asking princes, warriors, and important men to come and meet Princess Ola. festival would have lots of food, dancing, and games, and the king hoped that in all that fun, someone would notice Ola's kindness and smartness. When the festival started, the palace was full of guests. There was music and a lot of tasty food around. Princes and warriors from many places came, but when they saw Ola, they turned away. Some acted like they were too busy to talk, and others made excuses to leave early. Ola watched from a quiet corner, feeling more and more sad as time passed. She had dressed in her best clothes. Her hair was decorated with beads, and her skin was shining. But it seemed like no one cared about anything except how she looked. The villagers who were allowed to come to the palace for the festival whispered about her. Just when the festival was almost over and hope was fading, the sound of horses riding towards the palace caught everyone's attention. A figure appeared, riding into the courtyard. His armor was shining in the setting sun. It was Prince Ikem from Ndiabo, a nearby kingdom known for its brave warriors. He was tall and strong, and the people could tell he was someone to be respected. The villagers whispered to each other, wondering why a great prince like Ikem was here. They thought he wouldn't be interested in Princess Ola. But Ikem got off his horse and walked into the palace confidently. He greeted the king and asked to see the princess. When Ikem saw Ola, he didn't turn away like others did. Instead, he looked at her with interest and respect. The villagers were surprised, and the men who had rejected Ola almost couldn't believe it. Prince Ikem stayed by Ola's side for the rest of the festival, asking about her life, her hobbies, and what she thought about the kingdom. Prince Ikem was a legend, a warrior whose name was known across many kingdoms. Like the sound of thunder before a big storm, he was famous for his strength, which made him unbeatable in battle, and also for his cleverness, which helped him outsmart even the best fighter. He was born into a family of strong warriors in the kingdom of Umuchi. Ikem was trained from a young age to protect and grow his father's land. By the time he was in his mid-20s, Ikem had won many battles. His victory was celebrated everywhere, and when he entered a battlefield, enemies became scared. Those that once tried to attack Umuche were defeated under his leadership. Wherever he went, people told stories of his bravery. But Prince Ikem wasn't just known for his battles. After war, it was normal for warriors to take treasures from lands they conquered. But for Ikem, this often meant taking women. Many women, attracted by his power and charm, hoped to win his heart, but none ever succeeded. To him, they were just temporary, faces that disappeared over time, offering no friendship or connection. Ikem's life was full of victories, but it was also very lonely. The cheers from people celebrating his return never made him feel better about the emptiness he had in his heart. He had seen many battles and many kinds of beauty. The graceful women in royal courts, the lively women from Desert's kingdom, and the strong daughters of mountain tribes. But none of them made him feel anything inside. That was until the day he traveled to Amozar. At first, his visit was to form alliances to prepare for a war with a common enemy. While he was there, he heard different things about Princess Ola, the king's daughter. Some people made fun of her because of her size, while others talked about her kindness and smartness. Curious about the different stories, Prince Ikem decided to meet her for himself. The moment he saw Ola, something changed inside him. He didn't see what others made fun of. Instead, he saw a woman with incredible beauty, showing a quiet strength that fascinated him. She carried herself with great dignity, even though people looked down on her, and her eyes held a deep story of strength and grace. For the first time in his life, Ikem felt something deeper than admiration or attraction. He felt a real connection. Here was a woman who, like him, had fought her own battles, though hers were not with swords. In her, he saw someone who understood him, a kindred spirit, someone whose value was far more than what others saw. And from that moment on, Ikem decided he wanted to make Ola his queen. It wasn't out of pity or to claim her as a prize, but because he knew she was the one he had been looking for all this while. She was the queen he wanted by his side, a true partner who would stand with him both through victories and challenges. Over the next few weeks, Prince Ikem visited Amozar many times. He and Ola spent time together, walking through the palace gardens and talking about their dreams. Ikem admired her kindness, wisdom, and gentle heart. He saw the strength she had, even after all the mockery and rejection she had endured. Eventually, Ikem went to King Udochukwu and asked for Ola's hand in marriage. King, who had almost given up hope, was filled with great joy. The news of their engagement spread quickly, and the villagers were shocked. Many couldn't understand why a powerful prince like Ikem would choose Ola, but others started to see her differently, inspired by Ikem's love and respect for her. The wedding of Princess Ola and Prince Ikem was the biggest celebration Amozar had ever known. People from all the nearby kingdoms came to see the wedding. The villagers, who had once made fun of Ola, now cheered for her as she walked down the aisle in her beautiful royal dress, shining with confidence. After the wedding, Ola and Ikem went back to Ndiabo, where they ruled together with wisdom and kindness. Ola used her position to help those in need, and her caring nature won the love of the people. Over time, Ola's story spread far and wide, and it became a story of love, strength, and the importance of looking beyond how someone looks. The villagers who had once made fun of her learned a valuable lesson, and Ola became a symbol of beauty and strength. Ola and Ikem's love stayed strong throughout their lives, and they ruled their kingdom with fairness and kindness. Their children grew up hearing the story of their mother's journey and carried on her legacy. And so, the story of the fat princess, who became a beloved queen, lived on, reminding the entire villages that true worth comes from not just appearance, but what's in the heart.